Welcome back. We're talking today about dual symbol immersion, the immersion in two symbol systems simultaneously. The ability to be able to see and hear language throughout the day in all contexts. You and I know and have heard for years that to become proficient in a language, one must be immersed. That applies if it's our first language. It also applies if we're learning a second language, and dual symbol immersion theory says it applies when it's one language but a second symbol system. What happens is that when a person has not developed their language verbally, they've not been able to develop that expressive language verbally. Sometimes there's a known reason, sometimes there's an unknown reason for that. But the person has not been able to develop the ability to express themselves. We bring in augmentative communication, a way to be able to speak in an alternative symbol system and to be able to express oneself in that symbol system. It sounds like it's an easy fix, but we've known for quite a while that it's not a quick fix. Giving someone a form of augmentative communication means that you've solved the question of a mode for them to be able to express themselves. You've given them a way to be able to express themselves. But that still requires development. That development of expressive language moves from speaking in single words or single symbols to speaking in two-word combinations, speech and picture symbols or picture symbols, on up to speaking complex sentences. And we know that for speech, that first step in the expressive speech is babbling. So all of those developmental stages still need to happen when that language is through an augmentative communication system. Dual symbol immersion theory, which is developed by Hear My Voice, Language through AAC, through myself, Deanna Olenek, and Courtney Trevino, we developed the theory to be able to realign verbal expressive language and the expressive language through an alternative symbol system. The essential element of it is immersion, that to move through those developmental stages, we need to hear and see that language be made visible. We need to hear the little conversations as well as the big instructions. And that through that, the symbol speaker will have the opportunity to develop their own skills through the developmental sequence. It's about language. The reason we augment is to develop language. And dual symbol immersion theory is a way to be able to explain and align the development of language through augmentative communication with the development of language verbally. So for those of us who have already developed our language, those of us who have watched the verbal development of language through our own children, through our siblings, through our friends' children, through the work that we do, we know that there's a developmental sequence and a developmental progression. We need to be reminded of that when that language is through an augmentative communication system. So dual symbol immersion aligns us with language and language development, reminds us that we need to speak in the language and the modality or the symbol system being developed throughout the day, throughout the environment, throughout context. Symbolit was designed in order to make that more possible. That's a wonderful phrase. Make that more possible. Make that easier for interested parties, for family members who don't know the speech generating device or the augmentative communication system, for incidental communication partners to be able to speak to and speak into the development of our symbol speakers. So with that, go ahead and symbol it. How does language develop? How does language develop when that language is verbal, or that language is sign language, or that language is through an alternative picture communication symbol system? The question is, how does language develop? How do we help the person to develop a way to be able to express what they're thinking and feeling and wanting and liking and needing and contemplating? How do we do that? Well, for verbal language development, we immerse the speaker in the symbol system that they're learning, which is verbal language. We speak to them in whole thoughts and complete sentences. From the time that an infant is born, we're speaking in words that we know they don't yet understand, communicating ideas they don't yet know, and helping them to formulate a language to be able to do the same someday. We know that that's true for verbal language development. The same is true for sign language. We immerse the person speaking in sign language in sign language. We have sign language translators that provide a way for the signer to be able to learn sign language naturally in their natural environment. But to date, we haven't had a way to be able to speak in picture symbols in real time, in complete sentences, in all environments, for all different reasons, by all kinds of different people. We just haven't had a way to be able to do that. And that's where Symbolit comes in. Symbolit was designed to give you a way to be able to speak in picture symbols in real time. We were designed in order to give you a way to make language visible in real time and with complete sentences. In this way, you can speak verbally and in picture symbols simultaneously, so that the developing communicator has a chance to see the symbols and hear your language simultaneously in a natural environment and in a natural way. Symbolit was designed for you to be able to immerse your symbol speaker, your developing person who is going to be able to speak in symbols, to immerse them in picture symbols while you're speaking to them, so that they can have the opportunity to develop that relationship of the symbol to the language and the language understanding. Symbolit is easy to use. It gives you one touch and you're able to speak in picture symbols, complex sentences. This is going to be an essential tool for the development of language through augmentative and alternative communication. It'll be an essential tool for parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles, as well as neighbors and Sunday school teachers and paraprofessionals and siblings and peers and therapists, to be able to immerse the symbol speaker in the symbol system being developed. So the problem has been being able to speak in the symbol system being developed in real time. And with Symbolit, with the press of a button, you can speak in complex sentences verbally and in picture symbols. So why not?